Dr. Shahrazad Ali's book, The Black Man's Guide to Understanding the Black Woman, except it is universal and it is for all men and women because this is how women are. And apparently how men are, generally speaking. Anywho, guys, so God bless you all. Appreciate your patience. Chapter 16, The Other Woman. The black man's handling of more than one woman is in a bad state of condition. The tenderest part of a black woman's life is the part that involves her relationship with her man. Even though she is not doing what he wants her to do, the fact that she's with him and claims to love him makes her territorial. She may go literally berserk if her man wanders for a night or develops a full-blown relationship with another woman. The black woman does not understand her role in life with a black man. She can be the woman or the other woman to a black man. Both positions have their own idiosyncrasies of pro and con. It depends upon the black woman's perspective as to which position she will occupy. She does not know that whichever position she takes does not eliminate the other position from the black man's life. She cannot bear even the thought of this. While she does not obey the rules governing her duties as a wife, she expects her man to obey all of the rules of the marriage vows or of the monogamous commitment. She refuses to accept the truth about what apparently is his nature. And I'll just say that for, white and Hispanics and others, it's 45% ish up there in the cheating range for men and like 42% for women. Okay. Anywho, so let's just keep going. There is no history of the black man settling down with one woman and never desiring to have another one. Before slavery, during slavery, or after slavery, the black man has never been recorded to have just one woman. The black woman does not know that just because her man does not have another woman, does not mean he does not want one. He just has not figured out how to do it and keep the peace. Lord, just tell the truth. He knows for an actual fact that if his woman finds out or even suspects that he's interested in adding another woman to his life, she will not give him another moment of peace until he has convinced her beyond all doubt that he has either changed his mind or wasn't serious about it in the first place. She will keep him up all night if need be until he gets it straight. Since the black woman has reduced her own worth to her genitals, she also equates the black man's value with his. She has an idea that sexual intercourse has some kind of divine worth to the black man as it has to her, and that he should only reserve it for one woman herself. That is what Western society has taught us. But anyway, the black man seemingly is under no such interpretation and is amazed that she reacts so violently to him having another woman. Again, this is all women, and all women go absolutely ape sugar honey iced tea. But again, just side note, you're already sharing 80-20 rule. It's already happening. It is what it is. So I'm just like, let's just get with the program here. All right. He knows she's jealous. She becomes furious beyond belief and may have to be restrained physically from harming him or herself. Her first charge is that you lied to me, which is followed by, why didn't you tell me? As if his telling her would make any difference in her reaction. Number one, he knows he has to lie because he knows she can't handle much truth about the reality of his life, much less the fact that he desires another woman but still wants her. What did I tell you about a man needing to feel like he can actually tell his woman the truth? How many men feel that way? That they could just tell it like it is or say exactly how they feel. They're terrified because women will lose and then they got to deal with their attitude for God knows how long, if they don't have their house under control. So anywho, let's keep going. She calls it two-timing. She will demand all sorts of explanations, none of which appease her distraught emotional state. Sometimes she demands the black man tell her every sordid detail of the relationship, describe the woman, how he met her. This is so typical. This is exactly just how we are, period. Whose idea it was, where did it happen, and how many times it happened. Did he use protection? Well, that's an important question, but anyway, hopefully he would be wise. She will compare her dates to see if he had her on the same day or night he had her. Usually the man will give her a portion of answers to the questions. This is just what it is. Yeah, somebody's been through this. So anyway, if he tells her the whole truth, he knows that she possibly would never recover. Listen, this woman, God bless her, she wants him to explain it in such a way that proves that he was seduced by this horrible other tramp of a woman, or that it only happened one time, or that she belongs to another man anyway and it will never happen again. She wants to believe that the sexual encounter was brief, uninvolved, superficial, and consisted of only straight sex that was over in a few minutes. The intensity of her reaction is based on the magnitude of the value she places on sex. If she and her man are having extremely good sex, she quakes at the idea that he has done those same things to and with another woman. She is subject to wreck her entire world. Listen now, this 8 out of 10 divorces are initiated by women, okay? She is subject to wreck her entire world. Homewrecker, no matter how long the relationship has existed, based on what her man does with his sex organ. A quagmire of examples of some of her reactions are as follows. All right. She will withhold the peace. Woo, woo. God, is that right? This means she may catch an attitude and stop talking to him, or she may just be evil and glare. She may walk in a hostile gate and be extra fussy and complain about everything. Nag, nag, nag. 2, she might cry and seek sympathy. During this period, the black woman will remind the black man of everything she's ever done for him. She will try to make him feel guilty and ashamed of his decidedly outrageous behavior. She will tell her friends the whole horrid story. Oh, bad idea. They will express their sympathy about her unfortunate misfortune, and agree that her man is wrong, low-life dog, and she should leave him. Number 3, let the house go to hell. Boy, oh boy, as I've seen this one. She may stop cleaning, ironing, washing, cooking. She may neglect the linen, his clothes, the dishes, or do anything else that resembles a work stoppage. She goes on strike. Number 4, she stops taking care of herself. This means she may stop combing her hair, eating, dressing, bathing, or letting her entire body droop in a daily and nightly depression. Seen that too. She may rush to the doctor, claiming to be worried about having a venereal disease, and warn him that he might have AIDS. Wow, that's drastic, but I get it. She's trying to get his attention. Number 5, tell his family and friends or his boss. She calls all his relatives and friends to complain to them about this awful thing he's done to her. Oh, that's bad. And what a dirty whoremonger he is. She will bellyache to all his kinfolks, pleading to them to get them on her side and intervene on her behalf. Is that the one that I think I wrote a statement about? I'm not sure. You have to remind me which one that was. Okay, let's see. She will cut off all affection. Sexual relations are out. She cringes inside at the thought of him even touching her. She vows never to let him touch her again. She cannot even think of going to bed with him again because she has a visual picture of him with the other woman in bed. And she uses her imagination to conjure up the worst scenario possible. Women definitely do that. Her worst fears are picturized in Technicolor reeling in her head. Well, that's for sure. That's why you need therapy. Anyway, number 7 is the silent treatment or play crazy. Hoy, Mia, this is universal. This means she may just stop talking altogether if she is really desperate. I've seen this here, the silent treatment or play crazy. This means she may just stop talking altogether. If she is really desperate, she will develop some kind of fatal illness, lose control of her limbs, refuse to walk or stand. It's true. While her doctor may not be able to find anything physically wrong with her, she maintains, no matter how ridiculous she appears, that something dreadfully is indeed wrong with her and she is near death. Her final pitch is to play absolutely overcome and have the proverbial human frailty of a nervous breakdown. This is her expression of pain so profound that it simply exhausts her brain. She becomes incapable of handling her rage and disappointment. She may scream, cry, hysterically break dishes, thrash about, or have a fit. She gives in to the ultimate aggrandizement and becomes burned out. This is a periodic collapse during the worst crisis of her life. Threaten or try committing suicide. Yeah, these are all things that women do when they feel very drastic and desperate, about this whole situation. I mean, there is more and more and more. There's a whole bunch on here. Start drinking more, drug abuse. Oh boy. All right. She can become lethargic, depressed, abuse the children. Absolutely. Verbally or physically beat them, rant about their father, say he's no good. Hit the man, fight the man, scratch or bite him. She can become wildly out of control, gets up the nerve to think she can win a physical fight against her man. She's secretly counting on his honor that he will not fight her back because of his guilt and will just try to restrain her, which is what usually happens, but you push it too far. Anyway, she might get so carried away she actually tries to shoot him or cut him. At this point, the man has no recourse but to defend himself. Things can get pretty wild and involve the police. That's true. Retaliate by getting another man. He may be her man's best friend. Woo, worst enemy, his brother. His father, next door neighbor. Any man who she thinks has a special value to her man is considered. This isn't what she really wants to do, but she's so out of control she thinks this will vividly make her man understand a similar hurt. Very bad idea. Yeah, very, very bad idea. Burn his clothes, wreck his car, trash his office, make a scene. Boy, this woman needs a whooping for real. This means all of the above and more. Yeah, exactly. When inspired by jealousy, the black woman goes into a blind rage and will destroy lives and property, including her own. She is determined to vent her anger and she wants witnesses. She must be restrained. Number 14, that's the last one. Attack and beat up the other woman. She will investigate and seek out the other woman and attack her, call her, make threats, hang up on her all hours of the day and night. She'll tell everyone connected to her she's a low-down man-stealing whore. She will call the other woman all kinds of vile names and make up any lies she can to make her appear to be a totally indecent person. Shoo! There may be many other variations of her reactions, but these are the most common ones that the man must contend with in this particular event. Sometimes he has to deal with all of them concurrently. Hell erupts. Yeah. When women's reality is shook, they don't take it well. They don't. So she's actually, when we get there, trying to encourage men just to tell their women the truth. Just to be honest with them. This is what I need. And basically, she says that the more clear that you are with your woman about what you want, what you expect, and what pretty much what you demand, if she's going to be with you, she will do a lot, basically. She'll put up with a lot, she'll take a lot, and she'll adjust, basically, is what she's saying, because she wants to keep her man. So this is really good because it is stuff that women feel and they go through. She thinks that if she can arouse pity in the black man, he will have mercy on her and stop whatever he's doing with the other woman. She wants to impress him that she loves him so much she can't live knowing that he loves another woman and is sleeping with her too. This is so universal. Hi, sweetie pie. She wants her love to be enough for him since his love is enough for her, for the most part. She does not understand he's capable of being attracted to or loving more than one woman, and because of her refusal to try to comprehend this part of his nature, he is unable to satisfactorily explain to her this undeniable fact. Amazingly, the black woman complains, if only he had told me, or why, what did I do? And she thinks that it happened because of shortcomings in her. Sometimes it is, but not necessarily. It is rare that a black woman is totally surprised to find out that her black man has another woman, because while appearing to ignore him, she studies his every move. That's hilarious. All right. I want to continue part 2. This book has so much good stuff in it, but I want to finish what I started here. I'm on the chapter of the other woman. So this is probably going to be the most unpopular chapter, even maybe more so than discipline, because women don't want to face that fact. Now, is every single man going to have another woman? No. Is every single man need to have 2 women at the same time? No. Is every single man going to cheat? No. However, there is a very high ratio okay, of that happening, of men needing that in some way in their life, okay? Anyway, many women are dealing with it, men and women actually, but again, I don't deal with the men, I'm dealing with the women that are trying to keep their families together. So let's just read, okay? We left off where she's talking about how she studies her man, even though she pretends like she's ignoring him, but she knows everything about him. She says, what you don't know can't hurt you. She also says, as long as I don't find out about it, or as long as he don't let me know. Okay? So, she will sometimes not rock the boat of the relationship if he continues to sneak around behind her back in an acceptable manner so as not to disturb the orderly life she thinks she has. Okay, what actually happens between two women is twofold. The wife at home and the other woman both experience an immediate zing of terror laced with fear when it becomes apparent that all parties involved know about the existence of the others. This is when women lose their damn minds, okay? And their idea of reality is shattered. So again, even in my case where because the messages that he sent back and forth to his friend, I only saw really one, and it just was like, that's not cool. Like, anyway, so nothing ever happened there, but I took it to the full extreme of what if it did. So when that happens, I never expected in a million years, because we're so happy. We have amazing sex. I was like, but there are other things going on, and I was depressed, and we did have a whole thing going on with our family. So, and whatever. In any case, when anything like this happens, I understand losing your crap, but you got to pull it together, okay? So anyway, the wife at home is scared that her man has found someone outside who he wants more than her, and that he will leave her stranded and shamed without a man. The so-called outside other woman is the one put exactly on point, because she's confronted with the possibility that the man and his wife might break up, and if they do, he will probably land on her doorstep, and if she really doesn't want him, she's got a monumental problem. If she does want him, she may be relieved that at last it's out in the open and he'll have to choose. She knows he has been with the other woman longer. They may have children and property involved in financial investment in the union. So she fears the pressure the wife will put on him will force him to cut her off. Both women become apprehensive about the outcome, and both immediately start making plans on how they will become the winner. Sometimes, if both women are shrewd, they will both become extra nice to the man, and the wife at home determined to win back his affections, which she thinks she has lost, and the other woman who thinks that she finally is in position to compete. The woman at home may become sexier in a marathon effort to wear him out at home so that he won't have the stamina to bed down the other woman. Just tell it like it is, girl. I love this woman. The other woman may prep herself up to imitate the best little wife in the world to show him the contrast. The black man may also be glad it's out in the open, and may have a plan whereby each of them can live in peace by adjusting his time and money to take care of and see after both women. But he never gets to present the plan that's most appealing to him because of the erratic emotional state of both women, okay? He has a hard enough time just keeping them apart. He has to deal with the shock, fear, apprehension, increased distrust, hostility, and guilt. Both women will have varied levels and degrees of each of the aforementioned ailments. During all this at-home turmoil, he still has a job and other responsibilities. The children and in-laws on both sides, it's a heavy burden, but not an impossible one to carry. Not if the black man stays on course with truth and doesn't give in to conventionalism. This is very interesting. She is Muslim, by the way. All good. It's all good. The black woman's reaction to the truth should be relief. Oh boy. Ladies, all ladies, are you ready for this? I'm just going to say that for this, our reaction to the truth should be relief. Instead, it's turmoil and purgatory. The truth comes to shed light, not instill the darkness. The darkness of falsehood is a sensitive cloak that the black woman wears to shield herself from submitting to the black man's ideas. Another interesting aspect of this trilogy is that each black woman involved in a 2-woman, 1-man relationship or a 3-woman, 1-man relationship, which does exist, she says, of course, is that they tend to be embarrassed for each other to know that they are sharing the same man. It sounds confusing because it is. In other words, it's all right for the women to know their man has another woman until the women are confronted with the actual existence of each other. They may want to know, but they don't want to see. Seeing represents too much reality for them to handle. I understand that, unless you can stretch your mind. They think of the other woman in a blur, no face, no body, no personality. Once she visualizes her comp, she tears away at herself in comparisons and hallucinations of her man doing things and having fun with this other woman. Fun. I love how she emphasized fun. It's literally one sentence, one word. A competent black man who is dealing with a wife and another woman who is also a wife of sorts learns to tackle the situation through trial and error. He may, if lucky, eventually get upon how to handle their mental, physical, and emotional needs simultaneously. God bless you, brother. God bless you. He does this separately and rarely gets mixed up. He meters out his time, takes care of any crisis that arises in either location, and may also father children in both homes. He may attend functions or go out with each woman at different times, have a complete set of friends connected to each woman, be fond of both their extended family members, and do everything a man must do when he takes the responsibility of 2 women he loves. And I would just say to that God bless you, and why not just go in one house? It's because the women won't get along. Otherwise, why wouldn't he want to save money? You really want 2 different houses? It's a pain in the ass. Just saying. Sometimes he is able to do this for years. Sometimes he's able to do this for only a few weeks or months before the women find out about each other. Black women like to think that their man was tricked into a relationship with another woman and does not want to believe that her man wanted another woman based on her own merit or his own need. When a black man has more than one woman for the purposes of adding more joy to his life, oh, can you imagine that? And because he met another woman who has needs, he decided to fulfill. Listen, that I'm going to tell you something that's going to hurt your guys' feelings, ladies. A man feels like a man when he can help a woman in distress, okay? And many, many men have done many nice things for women that don't include sex, or all that. But it's based in that nature of the male, coming to the aid of the female because she's a female, because vagina, okay? So sometimes that leads to something, but I'm saying that's a huge, I'm going to read it again. Okay, this is really important. Women need to try to understand. Number one, that having another woman could add joy to his life. Okay, something that women don't understand is that men need a break. You think, well, you're at work, you get a break. They need time to go out with their friends. Okay, it doesn't even mean they have to cheat. I've heard from so many men that said, if I had a sweet, submissive wife who desired me, I don't need another woman. Okay, so there's plenty of guys out there that are like, just treat me right. Okay, so, it's just stop trying to control his life. He needs time away, and that pressure of the family, that burden is tremendous. So if every time he comes home it's like nag, 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 then yeah, men, if they come across a woman that's kind and soothing and, oh, you work so hard and all that stuff, they can get bonded to them just from the emotional support that's going on. Believe me, a lot of men are very tender. You guys think it's always about sex. A lot of men have fallen for women because of the positive affirmation those women gave that man. They would say, oh, your wife doesn't see how hard you work, and he's like, no, she doesn't. She doesn't appreciate anything I do, hello. Oh, I appreciate you. You're amazing. Hello. This happens all day long. So the next thing is, now, he can love both women, apparently. But the next thing was that he met another woman who had needs he decided to fulfill. Okay? Now, again, that might piss you off because some of money that's normally in your household is going out. But if that's something that he feels like is the right thing to do, and he's not putting your family out, then that's what he wants to do. And most of the time, guys will do it and just not even tell you about it. So I feel like you'd rather be open and understanding that he could want to do something nice for a pretty lady. Maybe she's got kids, maybe she was abandoned, whatever her story is. We tend to be more skeptical as women, but it's fine. Who cares? If you come at it from a jealous and skeptical, suspicious aspect, you're already going to be like, you know what I'm saying? It's going to come across sour instead of happy and open, and then let things reveal themselves to you. You know what I mean? So anyway, he must keep the women under control by telling each of them the truth. She's a big firm believer in the truth. Okay? Yes, he'll have a fight, but it will be temporary. If he is first sure that both women love him, she says she wants the truth, so give it to her. But he must walk her through it so she does not become savage and unruly. Tell it, girl. We lose our damn minds. She will adjust and go for more than he thinks if she knows it's her only option to continue to be with the man she loves. She is quite resilient. Tell the truth. That's the truth, and it's going to get more and more desperate when winter is coming. She has never allowed the black man to explain his need to have another woman. This is true. We just tell men that they're bad. Shame on you. She chooses to believe that his need is based solely on sex. Sex is so temporary, it allows her to justify it quickly. See? Part of her shock is that she has convinced herself that her man has to accept what she is shoveling. See, we've been told it's supposed to be our way, what we think marriage is. Okay? So, let's see. Plus, the marriage license is the only legal document in America that the black woman holds the black man responsible for adhering to. Oh, she clamps down tight on the black man, whether married to him or not, because she has heard of the shortage of black men and views every single black woman as a threat to her in the world. All right, listen, girls, this was written in the 70s. There is no shortage of black men. Listen to me. Listen to me. Listen to me. There is only a shortage of black men who will meet the white folks' standards of availability and qualification. She readily accepts the idea of a shortage and makes her selection from the choices prescribed for her by others. She has never heard of or met a black man who stayed with one woman for the duration of his life, yet she expects her own black man to be the first one to do so. Well, I'd say my pastor is one for sure. She thinks she can change the nature of a black man through prodding, trickery, and nagging. Come on now, this is all women. Prodding, trickery, and nagging, always. The black man's nature is not governed or controlled by American political or social laws, including monogamy. He practices serial monogamy. He may have anywhere from 10 to upwards to 500 women in his lifetime between the ages of 14 and 75. Well, damn it, man. It is rare to find an adult black man who does not have a lengthy history of being with other women, several children, and emotional scars of all those involvements. Good relationships are the result of longevity and familiarity. No man chooses, listen. No man chooses to voluntarily keep changing women. 8 out of 10 divorces. Part of the black woman's frustration is that she is incapable of having two men at one time in the way a black man's capable of having two women. Oh, come on now. Oh, Dr. Shahrazad Ali. Whew, you fire, lady. This is true. They are not equipped to handle two husbands, two sets of children, two households, two full responsibilities, or two lifestyles. Her capabilities are too different. Her desires are too focused. She is most content when focusing all her attention and energy on one singular relationship. It is not her nature to maintain two equally involved love relationships. She simply can't do it. It is a mystery to her how the black man manages to do this. She does not even understand why he would want that kind of complication in his life. She certainly cannot understand how her man can say he loves her and loves another woman the same way. She thinks it must be either or not because of the impossibility, but because it is not what she wants, because she's been raised to be insecure and selfish. Wow. She simply cannot grasp the motivation of the black man's ego. She does not know the origin of love or the definition of it, and she did not get this way by herself. Her own strong influence managed to infect the black man with her ideas and forced him to start an infertile history of lying to her and pretending to play by the rules she designated. Her idea has not made for success for him or her. She has pushed the issue that her relationship's peace with him is based solely on his fidelity. Yeah. So that concludes basically from all that, drama. And I don't know how many times when people call into these shows, the majority of the time I'd say it's infidelity is the reason why they left. And they were a good man, good provider, they had kids together, and they left. And it's like, I always wondered, where are the counselors that help a woman to work through this? Because, when I read the Bible, it says 1 Peter 3, all right, 1 Peter chapter 3, chapter 3, verse 1. 1 Peter 3, 1. Sorry. Anyway, you guys know what I'm talking about. And it says that if you have an unsaved husband, an unbelieving husband, so he doesn't even have to be a believer, and you live a godly life before him, because he's not won by your words, he's won by your actions, you can save him. So you have to have patience, you have to have prayer, like the old mothers, that were in the church that I was grateful enough to pretty much grow up in from my early 20s to 20 years later when we moved. And my pastor always tried to help women understand male nature, and the fact that they are wired to look at other women. They're wired to be attracted to the female body and a specific body. The proportions are actually a sign of fertility, of good health. Okay, so it's not fat shaming. It's literally biology, and they're hardwired. So I have watched quite a few videos lately. I'm going to post a couple more. It's just some really good stuff, that if that's what you choose to do, it seems to me that people living in those relationships that do it in some form of religion try to honor that, and the men appear, from what I can see, to take responsibility and love their wives and their children and take care of their household. It's pretty fascinating to me. I never thought I could think it was possible, but I've done a lot of study, and it's been like, goodness gracious, probably 3 years on this particular subject for me trying to understand men, because I want to understand my husband. And again, even with all the freedom I've given him, he's still chosen to be happy with me. I think it's because he's very, very careful, very cautious. And he knows it's a huge decision. So, but, it's funny. I had a sweet little gal come over. I know quite a few young women, for whatever reason. Beauty salons, this, that, the other, my kids' friends. Anyway, and she's really cute. Came over and helped me do my loft, which I posted a video of. And it was so much fun, And it's just interesting. It's interesting. Who knows? And again, I've never in my life done anything. It's my husband. My husband's been with me, 21 years of marriage, 32 years we've loved each other. So it's very odd, but at the same time, it seems kind of like, it seems kind of natural in some odd way. If you could get the right harmony and the right balance. But a lot of that, honestly, has to do with the leader has to have order. That's what she's talking about. Tell the truth, have order, have control. And women say, oh, that's abusive. No. Control is not abusive. Control is headship. Control is authority. Control is keeping the household from falling apart and keeping everything in line. And everyone's more successful for it. What does your man want you to do? Eat right, exercise, don't spend too much money, don't drink too much, don't smoke. You know, don't cuss, you know, don't talk to guys. You know, go do your work if that's what you want to do, but take care of the house, take care of the kids. Have sex with me. Is that so difficult? That is the majority of men. That's all I want. That's all they want. That is not that difficult. And we create insane amount of drama. So anyway, all I'm saying is that, again, every man's going to be different. You're going to have a percentage of men that they need that. Some need more than two, but whatever. Or it may just be, you know, a couple one-night stands throughout an entire marriage or something like that. You know, what I'm saying is don't throw your marriage away because that happened. Literally, if you think about it, a few moments of lustful passion, and, you know, I know everyone's got a different situation, but I'm just saying, I've heard women that heard about a rumor that their husband had an affair and they left them. There was no proof. There was nothing. They just, you know, and the guy told them about it, which he probably wanted to get in her pants. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, you gotta be weary and leery, and leery of people ratting on your family. Like, you're ratting on your husband. Like, what's your motivation? Why are you telling me this? Especially if it's a man. But, you know, I just say that with the way that the world is going, to disagree in relationships, to have these little fussy, who's in charge, this, blah, 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 I don't want to do the dishes, me, whatever, is complete luxury. It's a complete luxury because when the ish hits the fan and we're talking about survival, what do you need, dear? Shit, you might be calling a master. Yeah, you might. And 7 other women. I'm just saying. I am just saying, you guys, you got to see the writing on the wall. I would just say, you got to think really hard. You know, you leave your good family and what's out there. You know, Mr. Samuels would always say, and what's out there for you in these streets. You know what I mean? You're in a different boat than you were when you got with him, and now you have kids and all kind of stuff. So most of the guys are good guys. Okay, they're not going to be perfect. And the other thing is that I've heard so many times women that left their first husbands and serial dated or married a couple more times, and they will say, no one's ever treated me as good as my first husband, and I regret it. I didn't know then what I know now, you know, because when you're young, you're all, you can't tell me, me. Freaking young women who just want to smack. I'm like, I have a room full of things to take care of attitudes. I'm just saying, whoop some ass. Some of these girls need it. I'm telling you what. Oh my God, have mercy. Anyway, Lord help us. All I can say is, you know, I think honesty is the best policy. You got to talk to each other. Otherwise, you're living a fake life. And maybe that's how you have to do it. I don't know. All I know is that eventually, if the ish hits the fan in your house, women sometimes don't recover. They go cuckoo, okay? And you don't want that to happen. So you need to figure it out. Figure it out. And the way that the world is today, people are so much more open than they used to be. Matter of fact, I don't think people would even blink an eye if they were like, oh, you have 2 wives. That's nice. See, you'd say it like this. Oh, you have 2 moms and a dad. Oh, okay. If you say you have 2 wives, all of a sudden it's like, ooh, it's freaking hilarious. Like, really, people with their brains. I don't know.